It's Sunday evening, and tonight it's going to be a comfort food Sunday. What I'm going to be making is I'm going to make Denver sandwiches, and there's a ton of people out here that have their own idea of what should be in a Denver sandwich, Denver omelet, whatever you want to call it. I'm following the recipe that my dad made, and when I was a little boy, I was not particularly impressed by these sandwiches, but over the years I've grown to think of them as just a very comforting, simple meal, and I really like them. The thing that I do differently from what most people do is the bacon and the onion and the green peppers cook a bit longer than most people would have them. Most people saute them for, barely enough time to get them warm, and you end up with what in my opinion is the flavor of raw onion and raw green pepper, which, while they're good, they're a little too strong for the flavor that I want in this sandwich. So tonight I'm going to show you the way I do it, which is slower and cooked a little bit longer, and I think a better blend of the flavors. So let's get started. I'm going to start out by just showing you the ingredients, unchopped, not ready to go in, but I'll get them chopped up and we'll throw them into the frying pan in just a minute. So let's look down. So what you've got, we'll zoom in just a little bit. What we've got is a couple of onions, one large green pepper, some eggs, some really good quality bacon. Believe me, you need the best quality bacon you can find. Buying the cheap stuff at the grocery store is not going to make it. And some good quality bread. I happen to like Bread Smith's French peasant bread. It's got some whole wheat berries in it, and I think that's one of the best commercial breads I can find. So there we go. I'm going to start chopping this up. I'll show it to you again in a minute after things are chopped. Well, I've got the green pepper chopped up. I only did one of the onions. After I looked at them, I thought one would be enough, so we'll set that guy aside. And then I've got 5 large pieces of bacon that I cut in half here, and I'm going to chop those into smaller chunks, put them in this bowl. Get these guys out the way just for a second, and we'll just rough chop the bacon. The pepper and the onion I did at basically what I would call a medium chop. They're not real fine, but I didn't want real large pieces either, so. And I think you can get an idea from here about how I like to chop my bacon. This is thick cut bacon, and they're large pieces. I go up to Nuskie's every couple of months and buy maybe 10 pounds, 10 or 15 pounds sometimes of 5-pound bags of their irregular cut bacon. It tastes as good as the really nice looking stuff. It just doesn't look quite as nice, and it's a couple dollars a pound cheaper. So, and I am absolutely convinced that Nuskie's, some people say Nuskie's, is probably one of the best bacons you will ever find anywhere in this country. It's all applewood smoked, and their store and smokehouse is about 50 or 60 miles from here, and to my mind it's well worth the trip. So that's what I'm using for bacon. You can see I've got a pretty big batch of bacon there. Okay, I need to get the pan warmed up, and then we'll start the next step of this. Our next step, this pan is starting to get nicely warm, is to put the bacon. I think you can probably hear that. and the green pepper, and the onion all right in. And you just stir this around and let it all cook down a little bit. Starting to sweat a little bit. I don't know if you can see it, but it is steaming. Long way to go, though. A long way to go with this. I want these veggies really pretty well cooked. Okay, we'll give it another stir. It's certainly not done yet. We've been 4 or 5 minutes now so far. And my goal is to seriously cook this down. So, it needs a little time yet. Come on up here and look at me a second. There we go. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we were crooked there. Make you think maybe I'd had much more to drink than I've had. Which isn't all that much, just a beer. Speaking of a beer, there it is. I've got my beer handy. This is one of those Sunday night suppers that's been kind of a go-to for me. If we can't think of anything else, every once in a while I'll do this. As I think I mentioned earlier, this is a dish that is my dad's recipes, and it's actually one of the very few things I ever remember my dad cooking. He usually left the cooking to Mom. And she was a very good cook. So, and Dad was much more busy with his work and running his business and stuff like that. So he didn't spend much time in the kitchen. But this is, whenever this dish was made, it was always him. Can't tell you why. Just this was his signature dish, as I remember it. So I just thought I'd pass that on. I'm keeping my eye on it. I'm gonna start making toast in a minute or two, and then we'll eat some dinner. I wanted you to see. My goal here is to really cook these down a bit. So we'll get the eggs in very shortly. Okay, well, we've got 2 sets of 2 eggs here. The veggies and bacon are just about to the point where I want to start using them. But since one of us does not like her eggs to look at her, and there you go, you see 2 eyes there, you've got to do this. So that her eggs look like that, and mine will look like, I don't know if you can see that because the light isn't the greatest here, but my eggs are still whole. So what I'm going to do is take about half of this out, set it aside for a minute. And get all the rest of this nicely lined up so I can make red-shaped omelets. We'll just pour this over. And I'm going to put the lid on it just to let those eggs cook. Alrighty. Got a couple of pieces of toast. We just do this, and so there's the first of our Denver omelet sandwiches. I think you can see that pretty decently. That's for those people who don't want their eggs to look at them. There you go, dear. Put the veggies back in, veggies and bacon. Nuts, that one broke. Well, you can't win them all. So that's the second set. And again, we cover them back up. Just let those eggs cook for a little bit. There we are. Is that our toast in? Okay, well, there we go. Turn the heat off. I need to grab this thing. The puppy's hot. So there you have it. All right, come on over and take a look at that. That's how I want it. I flipped one of them upside down, so you can, this one's upside down, this one's sunny side up, sort of. I want a little bit of black pepper on it. And that is Denver sandwiches done my way. Like I said, this is one of my comfort foods. It's my dad's old recipe, and I'm very happy to eat it this way. I like this. This is just, like I said, it's my idea of comfort food. So I hope you enjoyed my suggestion for how to do a Denver sandwich. And if you like my videos, I would very much appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel. And I'd kind of like to hear from you once in a while. Might be interesting. But please subscribe. Thanks. Bye-bye.